Close your eyes. Imagine a grand concert hall in 18th century Vienna. Candlelight flickers. The audience waits. A young composer walks to the piano, confident, but almost playful. He lifts his hands. The first notes dance into the air, bright, effortless, alive. And then, silence. Not emptiness. Suspense. Breath. Emotion hanging in the air. That's when he understood something most people never do. The music is not in the notes, but in the silence between. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Why this saying is popular. This quote resonates because it applies far beyond music. It suggests. Meaning exists in pauses. Power exists in restraint. Beauty exists in contrast. Speakers, writers, leaders, and creators love this line because it reminds us that what we don't say can be just as powerful as what we do. In a noisy world, silence becomes art. Mozart was known for brilliance, but also for balance. He knew that genius wasn't about excess. It wasn't about showing off every skill in one performance. It was about knowing when enough is enough. And he once said, "To talk well and eloquently is a very great art, but that an equally great art is to know the right moment to stop." Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Why this saying is popular. This quote is timeless because it applies to communication, leadership, creativity, relationships. In an era of constant talking and oversharing, this wisdom feels surprisingly modern. Restraint is rare, and therefore powerful. People quote this line when discussing emotional intelligence and self-control. Mozart began composing at 5 years old. Not memorizing. Composing. He wasn't just repeating rules, he was reshaping them. He understood that information is common. But imagination? That's revolutionary. And he expressed it boldly. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Why this saying is popular. This quote spreads widely because it challenges traditional ideas of intelligence. It values creativity over memorization. In modern times, where innovation drives success, this message feels empowering. Students, artists, entrepreneurs all relate to it. It tells people that brilliance isn't about how much you know, but how creatively you think. Behind the prodigy. Behind the symphonies. Behind the opera houses and royal courts. There was passion. Mozart didn't compose mechanically. He composed emotionally. And he believed that at the heart of greatness was something simple. Love, 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 that is the soul of genius. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Why this saying is popular. This quote resonates because it humanizes genius. It suggests talent alone isn't enough. What fuels mastery is love for the craft. Whether in music, art, business, or life, people connect with this truth. Passion transforms skill into brilliance. Why Mozart's sayings still inspire. The words of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart endure because they blend artistry with philosophy. They highlight imagination, restraint, and passion. They apply to creativity in every field, not just music. They reflect the mindset of a true prodigy. When wisdom comes from someone whose compositions still move audiences centuries later, it carries weight. And that's why Mozart's ideas continue to echo. Not just in concert halls, but in conversations about creativity and genius.